Hello cozy artists, my nickname is Ray Claire, this is Tuna, and this is Apricot. Thanks for tuning in. So this video is part 2, and I will leave the link to the first part. And I'm just painting that drawing that I did in the first video. This was an empty honey jar that I filled with water for my painting. And this will be a mixed media painting. It'll mostly be with Kuretake watercolor paints. I also have some watercolor pencils, and I will finish it off with some colored pencils at the end. So this painting is based off a picture when my husband and I went to California. We had visited Carmel by the sea, and it was really pretty there. In this video, I'll be talking about self-care for artists. And these are just some helpful suggestions that I found. You don't necessarily have to do them. And you can also pick and choose which tips will help you out. One of the first suggestions that I've learned from other artists is stretching. Stretching is very important before you start your artwork. Just like an athlete stretches before going about their sports, or even before you start exercising, you want to stretch your muscles. Similarly, you want to do some wrist warm-ups. There is a really good book. It is called Draw Stronger by Creota Wilberg, and it's illustrated like a comic book, but it shows all the different stretches that are good for artists. That way you avoid carpal tunnel or injuring your back. And as artists, we can take for granted how much we strain ourselves. But you'll probably notice as you get older, the more that you sit in a bad position for a long period of time with your back hunched over, you'll notice that you start to get back pain. So you want to take care of yourself as much as possible. That way you can create art for as long as possible. And I'll admit that I have to check my posture every now and then, just to make sure that I am not straining myself either. The second tip that I want to share is exercise. Keeping a good habit of exercise is really good. You want to keep healthy. I noticed that in my 20s I could do more strenuous exercises, but now in my 30s, just doing walks as much as I can, or taking the stairs whenever possible, that's good enough. Sometimes I'll do some cardio or some strength exercises, but yeah, just doing my best to keep healthy. And now for the third tip is getting good sleep, which I admit can be hard. I find that having a good warm cup of chamomile tea helps me settle for the night. Of course, the usual reading a book before bedtime instead of scrolling. All the advice that you've heard before. I will share one tip that really helps me fall asleep that might be a little bit strange. Elevating your legs, like if you elevate your legs against the wall after a long day, I find that helps me sleep, and I think it's because the blood is rushing down from the legs. It helps to relax my muscles, and I don't know why, but for some reason I'll end up feeling sleepy after a few minutes, and then yeah, I try to make sure that I don't fall asleep that way, but it has happened before. I got into this habit of elevating my legs against the wall after I had worked at a restaurant, and after my long shifts, my legs were so sore, and yeah, I would use Tiger Balm or another type of Asian balm, and then I would also elevate my legs, and it really helped with the pain. I also researched, and it says the benefits of elevating your legs. It helps improve circulation, reduces swelling, helps blood flow more easily towards the heart, reduces or relieves varicose veins. It's good for back pain relief. Oh, and there you go, improved sleep quality. So there's something to it. I just don't know the whole science behind it. And the last tip for taking care of yourself physically, this isn't the last tip overall, but just for your physical health, of course, eating better and balanced meals. Of course, I do like to indulge every now and then like everyone else, but yeah, as you get older, I sound old. As you get older, you want to be taking care of yourself more and more. Been trying to eat better. Probiotics are really good. I like having miso soup in the morning or some kefir. I'll have maybe yogurt in the afternoon. I didn't realize how important probiotics could be in my 20s. I would take it here and there, but yeah, you want to take care of your gut, and of course eat enough protein, carbs, and veggies. You want a balanced diet. But of course you don't need me to say that. And now that we've taken care of our physical health, it's good to move on to our mental health, but also things that will help inspire our artwork. So for me, I enjoy reading, and I mostly prefer fiction, but sometimes I'll read nonfiction. Lately I've been reading a book about the gut and how important it is to take care of it. Previously I had read a book about animal migration, but usually I enjoy fiction. And I'll talk more about the books that I enjoy after this break. And now for a brief message. This is my website, rayclairedelune.com. I offer free webcomics and merch that I've based off of those webcomics, including printable coloring pages and also printable planners. I offer keychains and more. I also have a free art blog, and I also offer a membership page for those who want more. Hope to see you there. So the fictional books that I enjoy reading, as you've probably seen in one of the videos on my channel, I really like the Anne of Green Gables book. I've read the whole series, And I will say that my favorite author is Lucy Maud Montgomery. I haven't read all her books yet, but I do have it as a goal to read all her books. I have read some of her short stories. I've read the Emily of New Moon series. I've read Jane of Lantern Hill. Another one of my favorites by her is The Blue Castle. I just really enjoy her writing. So, yes, books are a definite plus. I'm not sure whatever hobbies you guys have, but reading is one of my hobbies, and it is good as a creative person to have other hobbies that will help feed your art. I actually forgot two other points regarding physical health that I personally like to do. One of them is facials. Admittedly, I don't do as many facials now as I did when I was younger. Just because I find that I'm more busy, and at the end of the day, I'm kind of too tired to bother. But I do like doing facials every now and then, treating myself, and then also manicures. You'll see in some of my videos, sometimes my nails will be long and sometimes they'll be short. It just depends on when they break. But I do like to paint my nails every now and then. So just doing little things for yourself I find that it helps you overall. And it's good to take care of yourself. But yes, now that was the final couple of tips for taking care of yourself, physically wise. Another helpful self-care tip for artists, or anyone in general, I guess, is visiting art galleries. I visited a few art galleries, and it's always nice getting inspiration and also seeing what other artists are using. It's really cool seeing the different medias that they use and finding out what has inspired them, and that can help you with your artwork, especially if you're having an artist block. Then that can help motivate you and inspire you, giving you ideas on, like, if you have a project currently or if you need inspiration for a project. I remember one of the last times that we went to an art gallery, one of the artists had cut a bunch of thick papers, and they had created a beautiful scenery. It was actually photographs, sorry. They had taken these large-scale photographs of forests in BC, and then they had cut a bunch of the pictures and layered them on top of each other, so it almost looked like a pop-up. If you have seen those pop-up books. So it was cool seeing all the different layers of photographs making this one big photograph. And it was cool looking at it from different angles. You could see it gave a 3D effect to the artwork. And there were different artworks that were there. Some were made out of glass, some were plastic. My husband and I do prefer traditional art more than modern art. but we did appreciate the modern artwork that was at that art gallery. So yeah, I encourage you to visit your local art gallery. Our local one was free, but probably the ones in bigger cities are more expensive. I know when I was living in Toronto and I would visit the the AGO, sorry, the Art Gallery of Ontario. When I would visit there, you do have to pay. I also really liked visiting the ROM, the Royal Museum. That one was a lot of fun going to and seeing all the different artifacts. I liked the aquarium level, and also they had a display about rocks. And I know that sounds a little bit boring, but seeing all the different gemstones there was really cool. Seeing uncut sapphires in their natural state and different gemstones like that was really interesting. And also they even had some space rocks too, which was really cool. There were so many exhibits that I still have yet to go through. Another self-care tip for artists. Again, because I like books, I like going to my local library. Not all the time. I did used to go more when I was in high school. But yeah, I do like going to my local library every now and then. I do use the Libby app more often now, just because it's easier to borrow books digitally. But yes, I do like going to my local library and seeing what books they have there. And it's cool, in one of my previous videos, I showed that my local library had these mystery bags where you choose whatever genre you want to read, and you open up the bag and there's a bunch of books that you may have never read before. So I chose Cozy Mysteries, and that was fun, and that got me into reading a bunch of different series of cozy mystery books. So it's fun experiencing whatever your local library has available for you. And of course, an added benefit of the library is that it's free. So you can borrow whatever books, whatever CDs or DVDs they have available. I know those things are kind of like really old technology now, but it's nice seeing that those are still available for people to experience. And another tip, this has to do with going back to hobbies. Coloring. I find coloring relaxing. A bunch of people find coloring relaxing. And during the pandemic, I hadn't done art in a long time, but when the lockdown happened, I had a need to be creative, and a good reintroduction to art was getting a coloring book. And they have so many available now for adults, and yeah, it was nice. Like, you don't even have to think about the illustration you're going to draw. You just color in whatever you want, and it doesn't have to be perfect, It doesn't have to pertain to any art rules. You don't have to do color theory or whatever. You just put different colors on the page and see what you like. And it was fun. I created different patterns. You don't even necessarily have to color in a whole thing. You just create however you want to fill the page. Another really great art tip would be to go on a walk, take a hike. Just surrounding yourself in nature can really help inspire your artwork. In a previous video, I showed some parks that me and my husband went to, and it was a fun day just going around to our local parks, so I hope you get to experience that too. And I think that's all the art tips that I have for today. These are things that I've learned from other artists and also from my own personal experience. I hope that you'll find these things helpful to you. If you have any helpful suggestions, you can share them in the comments below. I talked a lot today and I'm not used to that, so I'm kind of talked out right now. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I want to thank you so much for watching my videos. I hope you check out my free webcomic series on my website, rayclairedeloon.com, and thank you for being here. Wish you all the best, cozy artists. Take care.